Hello, friends. Blessings at the beginning of the week. I'm Reverend Dr. May Elise Cannon. It's Monday, December 8th, 2025. We're at day 794. AP News said yesterday that a senior Hamas official, Bassem Naim, said we can talk about freezing or storing or laying down weapons with Palestinian guarantees not to use it at all during this ceasefire time or truce. Naim suggested a long-term truce of 5 to 10 years for discussions aimed at the establishment of a Palestinian state to take place. He said Hamas is very open-minded about what to do with their weapons. One of the main unresolved issues of Trump's 20-point plan is the disarmament of Hamas. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli soldiers yesterday shot at 3 Palestinians who were throwing rocks at cars in the OPT. One of them was killed, so said the Israeli military. They said another person was, quote, unquote, neutralized, and a third one was arrested. The Palestinian Red Crescent confirmed one person had been killed, another wounded. On Saturday, Israeli soldiers killed a Palestinian teenager, the Israeli army says, who was driving a car towards them and a bystander at a checkpoint in Hebron. The Israeli military chief of staff, General Zamir, told his troops yesterday in Gaza, the yellow line is the new border, serving as a forward defensive for our communities and a line of operational activity. I've had the concern of what if Israel annexes all of that Gaza territory that's on the east side of the yellow line? That has been one of the concerns. But Zamir said his comments came amid uncertainty about the next point of the peace plan, requiring Hamas to disarm and Israel to further withdraw from Gaza. Prime Minister Netanyahu said yesterday that the second phase of the U.S. plan to end the war on Gaza is close, but still hinged on unresolved issues, such as whether a multinational security force will enter Gaza. That's the big question. We've heard that might come as soon as January. Netanyahu says he needs to have talks with Trump at the end of the month on how to ensure that things progress or how the second phase is going to be achieved. The U.S., Israel, and Qatar yesterday held a trilateral meeting in New York to rebuild relations after Israel struck Doha. You'll recall that they attacked a building that was holding Hamas officials. None of the officials were killed. There were a few deaths of low-ranking members of Hamas. An update from Bethlehem this Christmas. I wanted to share this with you. After 2 bleak Christmas seasons, this is the third Christmas since October 7th in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus. They're preparing to celebrate once again. The Palestinian city of Bethlehem sees itself as a symbol of hope for Christians worldwide. They will light their Christmas tree in Manger Square. That just happened over the weekend, December 6th, announcing not only the start of the holiday season, but the resilience of people determined to reclaim joy after years of sorrow. The ceasefire in Gaza, brokered by the U.S., has not stopped Israeli attacks on Palestinians, not in Gaza nor in the West Bank, nor has it alleviated suffering in other parts of the OPT, yet Bethlehem has chosen to celebrate. Following ancient protocols observed by religious denominations in the Holy Land, the city is hosting 3 Christmas celebrations: December 25th for the churches in the West, January 7th for those following the Eastern calendar, and January 18th for Armenian Christians who have a different celebration date this year. Scouts will march, choirs will sing, midnight masses will once again fill the Church of the Nativity. Bethlehem's decision has encouraged other Palestinian cities to join in, from Beit Jala to Ramallah to Nablus, Zababdeh, and from Amman to Al-Hussein, Al-Kharak, and Madaba. All have decided to decorate streets and churches in a collective popular effort aimed at encouraging hope and restoring community bonds. Nevertheless, despite the lights and the hymns, the reality on the ground is really tough. It remains grim. Unemployment is at 31%. It's risen to that in Bethlehem. Tourism, typically the city's economic lifeline, has cost the city around $2.5 million per day. In 2022, there were 1.5 million visitors. Today, this sector faces the risk of collapse. Hotels and workshops are operating at a fraction of their capacity. Families who previously depended on pilgrimage income are fearing bankruptcy. If economic distress were only suffering, the situation would be catastrophic enough. But the last 2 years, there's also been a worrying escalation in Israeli settlement expansion and settler violence. South of Bethlehem and Beit Zahor, home to the Shepherd's Field, where the Gospel of Luke mentions the angels appearing to shepherds to announce the birth of the Christ child, There, the danger is all the more urgent. I talked about this in the past couple of weeks. The town's mayor, Elias Al-Said, said in an urgent message to the world and church leaders, he warned of an Israeli plan to build a new settlement on the Beit War lands, describing it as a land grab that would terrorize a most peaceful Christian community. I went into that in great detail in past days. The targeted areas considered Area C under Israeli security and civil control. It includes Ashkarab, a park and recreational areas that are already surrounded by a military outpost. Al-Said warns that establishing a settlement there will disrupt our entire community, push residents towards forced displacement. He cites figures from the UN OSHA office documenting 757 settler attacks since January. That's a 13% increase since last year. In this context, Bethlehem's Christmas tree has become so much more than just a decoration. It's a declaration of life, of resistance, of Palestinian national identity. As children gaze at the lights in Bethlehem, choirs sing in languages, multitude. Bethlehem insists on its right to celebrate and to exist, even as it is surrounded by walls, checkpoints, expanding settlements, and further occupation. Christmas in Palestine is not escaping from reality. It is a challenge, a declaration that joy will not be extinguished, that faith survives occupation, that hope is not just for the powerful, but also for those who persevere through suffering and trials. As a tree is lit and hymns echo in Manger Square, Bethlehem sends a message to the world. Peace requires justice. The call of angels 2,000 years ago directed shepherds from neighboring fields of Beit Zahor, and that call still resonates today. Glory be to God in the highest, and to earth may there be peace. The question now is, might the world listen? May it be so in the name of Christ. Amen.